Live on YouTube, live on Rumble. Good afternoon, hello, welcome to This Date in History, aka TDH. I'm Xander.
And I'm Enogoshi.
And you will be joined by the Golden Loon here shortly. Today is, of course, Moon's Day, aka Monday, July 20th, 2026. This show is about interesting and important events that happened today throughout the annals of recorded history. We have a 39-page document to go through today, so a little on the longer side. But let's get to it, shall we? Starting us off in the year 70, we have Siege of Jerusalem. Titus, son of Emperor Vespasian, stormed the fortress of Antonia, north of the Temple Mount. The Roman army was drawn into the streets fighting with the Zealots. 514, Saint Hormisdas was elected as Pope, succeeding Pope Sempronius. Now, other source says we have consecration of Pope Hormisdas following the death of Pope Sempronius the previous day. And if you know anything about the papacy and everything, it doesn't take like that short a time. It takes days, weeks, maybe months to elect a pope. But this was the day after. They're already consecrating this guy. You know, following the death of the other guy the previous day. That's way too fast and kind of shady, honestly. 802, Isaac the Jew, hey, that rhymed, diplomat to Carolingian Emperor Charlemagne, returned to Aachen from court of Abbasid Caliph Harun al-Rashid with famous gifts, including a water clock and Abdul Abbas the elephant. So yeah, giving an elephant as a gift. That's pretty cool. So right here, there he is. There's that guy. He's there's that guy. He's presenting all the cool things and everything. And we have, this is an AI image, it looks like. I'm not entirely sure. Can't tell anymore these days. But there's the elephant right there. Moving on up, what else do we got here? 1054, Patriarch of Constantinople, Michael Ceralius, as head of a synod held in Constantinople, excommunicated Cardinal Humbert of the Western Church in Rome. I wonder why he did this. And I see we are being joined by the Golden Loon.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. This is just telling me about Michael the First Ceralius, not about this exact event, so we're going to have to keep on going. 1230, year of Treaty of San Germano was signed at San Germano between the Holy Roman Emperor Frederick II and Pope Gregory IX. A Dominican named Guala was responsible for the negotiations. So, you're going to say something?
No.
All right. 1230, Treaty of San Germano. Let's look this up here really quick to see if there's anything. Here it is. Okay. So let's see. Treaty of San Germano. Copy that. Put it over here. Give it a hyphen. Copy the link. This link and all other links that we gather throughout the show will appear in the underbar description below after the live stream. You know, it's usually about 10 or so minutes after the live stream. But we already have a lot of cool links down there, including Unlimited to All Things on the Coalition, our sources, music in the background, and a handful of other cool things like the sources of the day names.
Yeah.
Like, you know, do you know why today is called Moon's Day? Or Monday?
For moons.
Yeah, Moon's Day, yeah. Well, you already know this. You know, Sunday, Sun's Day, Monday, Moon's Day, Tuesday, Tears' Day, Wednesday, Woden's Day, or Odin, you know, of the All-Father, Thursday, Thor's Day, Thor, Friday, Freya's Day, Saturday, Saturn's Day, and there you go. It's the origin of the actual words of the days. You know, nobody, these are questions that you don't know you have, you know? So
True.
Anyway, this treaty, it ended the War of the Keys that had begun back in 1228, so 2 years prior. The parties were Pope Gregory IX and Frederick II, King of Sicily and Holy Roman Emperor. On 28 August at Caprano, the peace was finalized with the readmission of the excommunicated Frederick into the church. Okay. And didn't we just talk about somebody being excommunicated? That was somebody else. That was like 150 years before that. Okay, so never mind. Those two are not linked. What else do we got here? Moving on up to 1304, Wars of Scottish Independence, Fall of Stirling Castle, King Edward I of England took the last rebel stronghold of the war. 1398, the Battle of Kellestown was fought on this day between the forces of the English, led by Roger Mortimer, 4th Earl of March, against the O'Briens and the O'Tooles under the command of Art Og Mac Mershadillah Caomanach, the most powerful chieftain in Leinster.
Yeah, that's a mouthful.
I know. 1402, Battle of Ankara, Army of Timur, the Tamerlane, with its armor-plated elephants, defeated forces of Ottoman Sultan Bayezid I, capturing Bayezid in the process, leading to an Ottoman power vacuum. It's telling you to image search this, probably because of the elephants. Okay, we'll just image this battle. I don't see any elephants. They're out there in the fog. Yeah, this just is depictions of... Oh, here you go. 13... Well, no, this is 1402. So this is something else.
Different.
Yeah. For 1592, during the first Japanese invasion of Korea, Japanese forces led by Toyotomi Hideyoshi captured Pyongyang, although they were ultimately unable to hold it. That's the capital of North Korea. Now, 1609, yeah. 1609, Emperor Rudolph II granted Silesian Protestants freedom of religion. I'm all for that. 1654, Anglo-Portuguese treaty was reinforced. England guaranteed Portugal's independence and received trade concessions. Moving on up to the 1700s, 1705, a fire in Oulu, Finland, almost completely destroyed the 4th district, which covered the southern part of the city and was by far the largest of the city districts. So I don't know exactly how big, but and I did image search this beforehand.
It's the largest.
Yes. So, but it doesn't provide any old. I mean, I guess that is an old image, but there's no artist renditions. There's no photographs from the 1700s.
No.
Cameras hadn't been invented yet.
No.
But there's not even like an artist rendition, like a painting or anything depicting this event. 1712, the Riot Act took effect in Great Britain. Now, we all know about like, oh, blah, blah, they're going to give me the Riot Act.
Yeah.
You know, so, but what is the Riot Act? So 1712 Riot Acts, a British legislation enacted in 1715. It was an act of the Parliament of Great Britain which authorized local authorities to declare any group of 12 or more people to be unlawfully assembled and order them to disperse or face punitive actions. The act's full title was an act for preventing tumults and riotous assemblies, and for the more speedy and effectual punishing the rioters. And it came into force on August 1st, 1715. The whole act was repealed for England and Wales by Section 10(2) of Part 3, Part 3 of Schedule 3 to the Criminal Law Act of 1967, which came into force in January 1st, 1968. So, but basically, like this act is where the saying comes from, the Riot Act.
Yeah.
So,
But basically, it's makes it legal to disperse crowds.
Yes, essentially. Yeah. So, 1715, Seventh Ottoman-Venetian War. That's a lot of wars. The Ottoman Empire captured Naupliya, the capital of the Republic of Venice's Kingdom of the Morea, thereby opening the way to the swift Ottoman reconquest of the Morea. 1738, that's our doorbell. North America, French explorer Pierre Gaultier de Vernay, Sieur de la Vernarde, reached the western shore of Lake Michigan. So, alright, pretty cool. 1749, Earl of Chesterfield said, quote, idleness is only a refuge of weak minds, end quote. Very true. 1773, Scottish settlers arrived at Pictou, Nova Scotia, in Canada. 1793, 20 years later, Scottish explorer Alexander Mackenzie completed the first European east-to-west crossing of America north of Mexico. That sounds like, that's before Lewis and Clark expedition, so it has to be up in Canada or something, or maybe just north of... Well, no, Mexico was all the way up there, so it has to be up in Canada. 1799, Tecle Giorius I began his first of 6 reigns as Emperor of Ethiopia. 6 reigns. How many times was he overthrown, stepped down, deposed, whatever? That's a lot. 1801, Elisha Brown Jr. pressed a 1,235-pound cheese ball at his farm, and we do have... What is that? Oh, we'll get rid of that. Picture here. This was actually presented to Thomas Jefferson, the President of the United States, in January 1st, 1802. And this was made in 1801. So this cheese ball is the same one. That's obviously not the same actual cheese ball, but it's a representation of it. But that's awesome. Who is at the door?
Sales.
Ah, okay. Do you tell him to put an egg in his shoe and beat it? But yeah, we're at the cheese ball.
Oh, okay.
1,235-pound cheese ball, and then Upon image search of this, it was apparently presented to, I've already forgotten who the president was, but the president of the United States in 1802. I think it was Thomas Jefferson. I don't know. 1807, Napoleon Bonaparte granted a patent for a pyrophore, an early combustion engine for a boat, to brothers Nicephore and Claude Nespes. So they are awarded a patent by Napoleon for the world's first internal combustion engine after it successfully powered a boat upstream on the River Seine in France. That's awesome. And here's an image of the blueprint. Internal combustion engine in 1807. I mean, that's something else. Yeah. That's the beginning of the Industrial Revolution.
Yeah.
You know, and there they are. Like, I guess that's photograph. That's photography there.
Yeah.
Huh. So I wonder if they're involved in photography as well.
What the guy was doing with his hands up, but.
It's like, you know, oh, magic. I don't know. Like. Let's see here. Moving on up, 1808, Napoleon decreed all French Jews must adopt a fixed family name. And it's just like, you know, why did they not have a fixed family name? Napoleon and the Jews, what the heck? Oh, wow. The first laws to emancipate Jews in France were enacted during the French Revolution, establishing French Jews as citizens equal to other Frenchmen. In countries that Napoleon Bonaparte's ensuing consulate and French Empire conquered during the Napoleonic Wars, Napoleon emancipated the Jews and introduced other ideas of liberty. Napoleon overrode old laws restricting Jews to ghettos and forcing them to wear badges identifying them as Jewish. In Malta, Napoleon ended the enslavement of Jews and permitted the construction of synagogues. Wow! So Napoleon was a champion of the Jews. I had no idea.
Nor did I.
Why is that not paraded all over the place? Napoleon is like the savior of the Jews, it sounds like, you know, with all this. In Malta, Napoleon ended the enslavement of Jews and permitted the construction of synagogues. He also lifted laws across Europe that limited Jews' rights to property, worship, and certain occupation.
My goodness.
In 1940, a, quote, letter to the Jewish nation, end quote, was published that allegedly had been written by Napoleon Bonaparte during the Siege of Acre on April 20th, 1799, in anticipation of a victory in the Holy Land that failed to come about. The authenticity of this source is highly dubious, however, especially as during the 141 years since the Egyptian campaign, no French original of this alleged letter has ever been published or referenced before, neither in part nor in full. So, but no, like, wow, he was a champion of the Jews. Wow. Napoleon and the Jews. Well, that kind of makes me wonder, like, is that part of the reason why the entirety of Europe was after him? Because he was emancipating and freeing, I mean...
I don't know. That's a stretch.
You know? 1810, citizens of Bogota, New Granada, now Colombia, declared independence from Spain. 1825, the Java War began in the Dutch East Indies as a rebellion against Dutch colonial rule led by the Javanese Prince Diopanagoro and lasted until 1830, killing about 200,000 Javanese. So in 5 years, to 20% of a million. It's ridiculous. 1831, Seneca and Shawnee people agreed to relinquish their land in western Ohio for 60,000 acres west of the Mississippi. More of this stuff. 1837, Euston Railway Station opened in London as the terminus of the London and Birmingham Railway, the L&BR, the city's first intercity railway station.
Ah.
That's pretty cool. So within the city to travel from one section to another.
Yeah, they have so many train stations in London, it's unbelievable.
They have 4 airports in like a 10-mile radius or something ridiculous.
Yeah.
So, what else do we got? Yeah, look at that. Look at the cars.
Yeah.
What they look like back then. Just these little tiny boxes.
But
that
they
was
still
it.
have those structures like that.
Yeah. Yeah. No, there it is.
For the train stations.
Yeah. It's probably bigger, but they still have them. So.
They have them all over the place.
Yeah. Oh, there's an old picture right there. Artist rendition.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. Look, like this is the poor people cars.
Ah.
Like they didn't have a top. You can't really see them that well. Let's see if
I kind of got what you said when you didn't have a top. Okay.
See if I can show you. You see them like sort of sitting right in here.
Yeah.
There's one over here at the very edge with a top. It looks like. You see that?
Uh-huh.
So wow. So that's where the poor people sat. 1847, German astronomer Theodore discovered comet Bornstein-Metcalf. 1848, the first women's rights convention was held in Seneca Falls, New York. It was a 2-day event. It concluded on this day. We spoke about it starting yesterday. Remember that? The first women's rights convention?
Yes.
1849, start of the first Lancashire-Yorkshire clash at Hyde Park, Sheffield. What? Like, what is this? Get rid of that. Let's see here. Hyde Park. I was just telling you about Hyde Park, not about. Well, this is saying cricket versus cricket scorecard. So apparently, it got physical over a dispute at the score of cricket. According to this,
I have no idea.
I don't know. 1858, the first admission fee was charged to watch a baseball game at 50 cents to watch New York defeating Brooklyn 22-18. All right. So what would 50 cents be in today, 2026?
100 years later? Well, it was 150 years later almost.
Let's see here. Inflation calculator. So let's see here. Inflation calculator. All right. So, no, I don't want to click that. Here we go.
20 bucks.
In 1849.
Oh, I can look at the wrong thing.
Enter year 2026. 0.50. So what's 50 cents from 1849?
What did I say? 20 or 80 bucks? Whatever he said.
50 bucks? I don't know. It's not telling me anything. So hold on a second. Here we go. There's another inflation. Okay, here we go. An average in. Okay, so how far does this go? This only goes down to 1913. Hold on. It's not even telling me. So hold on. 1849. Let's try 0.50 value 2026. Let's see if this works. Okay, I'm getting something here. Hopefully, $20.19.
Hey, I think I said 20 bucks.
I think you did. So you might be back on the roll
how about
there.
that, huh?
I hope so. 1858.
That's
We
an
got
expensive ticket.
not in today's world.
50 cents at 20 bucks to
Well,
go to a ball game?
$20 today. Like you wish a ticket was that cheap to go to a
Not
ball
to
game.
go to a ball game. Now maybe go to a concert, yeah, but a ball game's going to cost you, well, depending on where you sit.
Dad, you can't get a ticket for anything less than $100.
Oh, come on.
Yes.
No.
Yeah.
Unless you're talking of being scalped or something.
No. Let's see. Average baseball ticket price. Let's see here. Average baseball. Let's see here. Item base ticket price, $12. Average $38. High $150.
Yeah.
So okay. Well, still expensive.
Yeah.
What you're talking about, my mic, is cutting in and out. You said, Kyle.
Yeah, Xander.
Yeah.
I
Well,
just went out.
I don't know. I don't know how to fix it. Like I don't know what's wrong with it. I'm not a computer guy. I can't afford a new one. You just gotta deal with it. So what's going on?
I'm going to check your plug here. Make
Oh,
sure it's
well,
got good tight connection.
Don't mess with it. Don't mess with it.
No?
Don't. No. Because if you unplug anything, then I have to.
Plug it. I'm not going to
If you
it.
touch it, it might jiggle something. Just don't.
Okay.
Okay. Like we can't mess with things live on air like that. Because then I have to restore settings and all that stuff, and not on air. So, 1861, Confederate States Congress began holding sessions in Richmond, Virginia. 1868, first use of tax stamps on cigarettes. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. 1869, Children's Hospital Boston was founded by Dr. Francis Henry Brown and other Harvard Medical School graduates as a 20-bed facility in the south end of Boston, Massachusetts, and that's this building right here. So, like, it does look like industrial and everything, but like with it zoomed in, everything you see, there's some balconies and everything.
Yeah.
So it's not as oppressive, like you know,
As it initially looks.
industrial
Yeah.
looking. You know, this looks even worse though.
True.
Well, no, that's Harvard Medical School. This is supposed to be this is the
elementary.
Boston Children's Hospital.
Yeah.
This is Children's Hospital of Boston. So that's the actual building of the hospital. Everything else is a medical school for some reason. What else do we got here? 1871, British Columbia joined the Confederation of Canada, the Canadian Confederation. Yeah, that's where you're from.
It is.
1876, 5 years later, first U.S. intercollegiate track meet was held at Saratoga, New York. Princeton won. 365 days later, 1877, Great Railroad Strike. Labor issue turned violent as state militia confronted much larger crowd of rail workers and supporters. Rocks met with bullets in Baltimore, Maryland. 10 were killed and federal troops called in to restore order. First telephone introduced in Hawaii in 1878. Then in 1879, the Swedish expedition headed by Nils Adolf Erik Nordenskjöld aboard SS Vega became the first to navigate the Northeast Passage. Finally found it. Yeah. So let's look this up here. It just shows here the map right there. So you see it's skirting around the Arctic Circle.
Yeah.
So there it is right there. And it's, what is that? I can't even read what this is. Asia, or something. I can't read that. Here's another map, if it'll load. Yeah, so it shows here. That's obviously Canada.
Yeah.
So, what else do we got? So 1885, the Football Association legalized professionalism in association football under pressure from the British Football Association. So this is soccer.
Yeah.
Yeah. 1890, Gibbons Stamp Monthly began publishing, and I have no idea what that is. But I looked this up earlier. It's some kind of magazine or something. Gibbons Stamp Monthly. Is it for stamp collectors or something? Gibbons Stamp... British Philatelic magazine. I guess it is. So let's add this into the underbar section if anybody wants to, for whatever reason, read the Wikipedia of a stamp collecting magazine. It's beyond my understanding, but hey, I aim to please. 1890, snow and hail in Calais, Maine. We were looking at Maine the other day.
Yeah.
You were, at least.
Just for hee-haws.
Yeah. 1894, 2,000 federal troops were recalled from Chicago, having ended the Pullman strike. 1901, Morocco signed an agreement with France, fixing Morocco's frontier with Algeria, a French colony. Algeria is, of course, out in Africa. So, 2 years later, 1903, the Ford Motor Company shipped its first automobile.
Ooh.
So we've covered...
it's a Ford.
Yeah, we've covered when the last Model T rolled off the thing, and now we've covered the first.
Yeah.
1906, in Finland, a new electoral law was ratified, guaranteeing the country the first and equal right to vote in the world. Finnish women were the first in Europe to receive the right to vote. Epic. Look at the Finns, dude, leading the way. 1910, committee found former Dutch Prime Minister Abraham Kuyper innocent of corruption in the so-called decorations affairs. What is that? I'm going to do a surface level scratch of this. Just telling me about the guy here. Let's see, does it tell me anything about the decorations affair if it loads? Let's see, early life, religious life, Dolatini, member of parliament, anti-modernism, prime minister. He looks like Winston Churchill, like that. It's theological views, political views, legacy. It's not telling me. There's not a section in there that I could find. If anyone can look that up, let us know what the heck this decorations affair was. That'd be great. 1911, Generals Henry Wilson and Auguste Duvhale signed a plan for British Expeditionary Army in case of war with Germany. That's a good plan to do because it ultimately happened. 1912, Philly's Sherry McGee stole home twice in one game.
Ah.
What a kleptomaniac.
That's amazing.
I know. 1914, armed resistance against British rule began in Ulster. Ulster. Oh, that's in Ireland. The Ulster Volunteer Force. Yeah,
I have
Troubles.
no idea. Never heard of it.
Yeah. 1917, Pact of Corfu was signed. The Serbs, Croats, and Slovenes formed Yugoslavia. Happy birthday, Yugoslavia. So during World War I, so this is during the war, the Corfu Declaration, which led to the creation of the post-war Kingdom of Yugoslavia, was signed by the Yugoslav Committee and the Kingdom of Serbia. Excellent. So, wow. So, well, they kind of share the same birth and blood as the Soviet Union, being born out of the First World War. Kind of sort of like that when you think about it.
Yeah.
We also have the World War I draft lottery was held. Number 258 was first drawn. I guess that was the first number that was drawn.
To be drafted.
Yeah. Whoever 258 was, poor schmuck. 1920, Dutch soccer club Sport Club Heerenveen was formed, initially known as Athleta KNVB Cup champions, 2008 to 2009. 1920 as well, the Greek army took control of Silvery after Greece was awarded the city by the Paris Peace Conference. By 1923, just 3 years later, Greece effectively lost control of it to the Turks. And Greece just kind of sucks. 1921, Congresswoman Alice Mary Robertson became the first woman to preside over the floor of a U.S. House of Representatives.
Ooh.
Nice.
That is nice.
Yeah. 22, French and British Togoland made separate mandates within the League of Nations. So the League of Nations awarded mandates of Togoland to France and Tanganyika to the United Kingdom. 1 year after that, New York Yankees hit into a triple play but beat Philadelphia A's 9-2. Yikes. 1924, Fédération Internationale des Échecs, the FIDE, formed in Paris. I'm going to look this up here really quick. FIDE, the International Chess Governing Body. Oh, that's interesting. So let's see here. FIDE chess. Put that there. Let's see, the International Chess Federation or World Chess Federation. I guess that's what's Etchex. Like right here. This is 1924.
Chess.
Yeah, ECHECS is French for chess.
I guess so.
You know, Fédération Internationale des Échecs, FIDE. So, yeah, commonly referred to by its French acronym FIDE, is an international organization based in Switzerland that connects the various national chess federations and acts as a governing body of international chess competition. God, there's just government everywhere. Ridiculous. 24, Tehran, Persia came under martial law after the Stadian Vice Consul Robert Embry was killed by a religious mob, enraged by rumors he had poisoned a fountain and killed several people. Yikes. 25, Beirut Sultan Pasha al-Astraj called Druzan for a holy war against France. Why? We also have Treaty of Neutrino between Italy and the Kingdom of Serbs, Croats, and Slovenes, which later became Yugoslavia, was signed but only ratified in 1928. So what is this Treaty of Neutrino? Let's do a surface level scratch of this article really quick. Treaty of Neutrino. Alright. Here's, which permitted Italians to freely immigrate to the Kingdom of Serbs, Croats, and Slovenes coastal region of Dalmatia. Its ratification in the Kingdom of Serbs, Croats, and Slovenes parliament took 3 years as opposition Croatian Peasant Party representatives were infuriated with the treaty, calling it colonization by Benito Mussolini. Yeah, he was doing that too. So, Treaty of Neutrino. I mean, I'm all for, like, you know, mingling, like, you know, getting all the peoples and, you know, like, ethnicities and religions and beliefs from around the world and intermixing, but some of them just will not work, and at the same time, you know, you're erasing, like, entire, like, people's standalones, like, you know, like it's a very difficult topic. Like, it's not really something like, you know, oh, which is better, this versus this. They're both good in their own way,
yeah,
but we can only choose one path to go down, you know. And ultimately, if we decide one way, you know, which is intermingling, we can never go back, especially after a certain amount of generations, you know, because beliefs and cultures and all that stuff change. Look at the United Kingdom right now. They're getting conquered.
Yeah.
Dude. Like.
Yeah. Well, like you say, as soon as you start making a stew, so to speak, you're going to lose stuff. You're going to lose different things, and different cultures are going to get mixed into the stew, so you don't see them and identify them. They may be there, but you lose it.
Yeah.
And that's not good.
No.
But it's not good to mix, too, so it's a tough go.
I know.
Yeah.
Anyway, 1 century ago, a convention of the Methodist Church voted to allow women to become priests. Cool.
Yeah, about time.
Yeah, 28, the government of Hungary issued a decree ordering gypsies to end their nomadic ways, settle permanently in one place, subject themselves to the same laws and taxes as other Hungarians. That's another difficult study. You know, like if they want to be nomadic people, fine. But at the same time, if they're going to sit there and like, you know, reap the rewards of a certain civilization, they have to pay taxes. But if they don't have property, you know, and everything, like, well, then you can't tax them that way. But then again, you shouldn't be taxing your people to hell. Tax other countries through tariffs.
Yeah.
So there's other ways.
That's how the U.S. made their money originally, was through tariffs, not taxing the citizens.
Yeah. 1930, 106 degrees Fahrenheit or 41 Celsius in Washington, D.C., a district record. It's pretty hot. 1932, an injured Babe Ruth entertained the touring Australian cricketers in his private box at Yankee Stadium. He was conspiring with the cricketers, the traitor, the great Bambino himself, talking with cricketers. What a low thing to do.
Oh, I've lost faith in him.
As his New York Yankees defeated the Chicago White Sox 7-2, the Babe met the Don Bradman. Oh, he met Don Bradman. Huh.
Who's Don Bradman?
A cricket legend. Right there.
Did you know that, or you just...
Well, no, it reads there. I figured it out.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, so we have
one's which.
a baseball legend and a cricket legend meeting each other.
Yeah. Right.
1932, Chancellor Franz von Papen used an emergency decree to oust Prussia's Social Democratic-led government and appoint himself Reich Commissioner, bringing Germany's largest state under direct federal control.
Yikes.
32, in Washington, D.C., police fired tear gas on World War I veterans, part of the bonus expeditionary force, who attempted to march on the White House. Now, remember, we were talking about yesterday, and I think this was before this, though, but World War I veterans apparently setting fire to things.
Yeah.
We covered that article yesterday. I don't think it was this, but at the same time, I don't know. They were marching to the White House because they were not getting paid what they were promised that they were going to get paid or whatever. As per usual, we were screwing over the veterans, essentially. And they were trying to do something about it, and the police just shot tear gas at them. So, you were going to say something?
No.
33, in Germany, 200 Jewish merchants were arrested in Nuremberg and paraded through the streets. Yuck. 33 as well, in London, 500,000 people marched against anti-Semitism, or anti-Jewish behavior, so I guess that's probably in response to this. Oh, that's pretty quick response in 33. I mean, there was no instant spread of information.
True.
So, 33 as well, Vatican Secretary of State Pacelli, the future Pope Pius XII, signed the Reichskonkordat with Nazi Germany. I've heard of this Reichskonkordat. Let's look this up here. See the underbar section. Put that in here. Get the link, and then now. Concordat between the Holy See and the German Reich. It was a treaty negotiated between the Vatican and the emergent Nazi Germany. It was signed on July 20th, 1933 by Cardinal Secretary of State Eugenio Pacelli, who later became Pope Pius XII on behalf of Pope Pius XI, and by Vice Chancellor Franz von Papen on behalf of President Paul von Hindenburg and the German government. It was ratified on September 10th. The treaty guarantees the rights of the Catholic Church in Germany. When bishops took office, Article 16 states that they are required to take an oath of loyalty to the governor or president of the German Reich, established according to the Constitution. The treaty also requires all clergy to abstain from working in and for political parties. Breaches of the agreement by the Nazis began soon after it was signed and escalated throughout their rule. The church protesting, including in the 1937 Benedictine storage encyclical of Pope Pius XI. The Nazis planned to eliminate the church's influence by restricting its organizations to purely religious activities. Well, I mean, they kind of should be restricted to only religious activities. They're the church.
Yeah.
They
should have a right to be there, too.
Well, yes.
And that's what this treaty gave them.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like this was...
as the Nazis do, they changed it to their own whims.
Well, it also sounds like, from the very beginning, this was a way to get the camel's nose under the tent to destroy the church. So, which, seeing how the Vatican is these days, I'm not sure if I would be that much opposed to that. So.
Oh, yeah, I would. No matter what they say. But it's also a way for the church to get it documented so they can survive.
Yeah. 1934, 118 degrees Fahrenheit or 48 Celsius in Keokuk, Iowa, state record. That's hot. How do you like to be standing in a cornfield in 118?
No.
It'd kill me. For 34, labor unrest in the U.S. Police in Minneapolis were fired upon striking truck drivers during the Minneapolis Teamster strike of 1934, killing 2 and wounding 67. So we have the West Coast waterfront strike. This is somewhere else, actually. So we have 2 strikes here. So we have that, which sounds a lot like what happened in Canada a couple years ago with the trucks and all that stuff. And 34 as well, West Coast waterfront strike in Seattle. Police fired tear gas on and clubbed 2,000 striking longshoremen. The governor of Oregon called out the National Guard to break a strike on the Portland docks. Wow. You know, you've lost the plot when you use violence against your own people.
Yeah.
35, Gangbusters premiered on NBC Radio, running for 21 years until November 27th, 57. That's quite a while. 36. 36. The Montreux Convention was signed in Switzerland, authorizing Turkey to fortify the Dardanelles and Bosphorus, but guaranteeing free passage of ships of all nations in peacetime. 2 years later, IOC, the International Olympic Committee, awarded Helsinki, Finland, the 1940 Summer Olympic Games after Tokyo, Japan withdrew because of the Second Sino-Japanese War. Freaking Japan attacking China, right before World War II. We also have the United States Department of Justice filed a suit in New York City against the motion picture industry, charging violations of the Sherman Antitrust Act in regards to the studio system. The case would eventually result in the breakup of the industry in 1948. Excellent. We need more of that. 1940, Billboard published its first singles record chart, I'll Never Smile Again, by Tommy Dorsey, with vocals by Frank Sinatra. It was number 1. We also have Germany. Occupiers forbade Dutch Communist Party, CPN, in Netherlands. If there's one thing that the Nazis ever did right, it's not liking communism. At least we can agree on that.
Yeah.
So, 1940, Dutch Nazi collaborator Meinoud Rost of Tonningen appointed as liquidation commissaire for all Marxist organizations. That sounds horrifying. Denmark left the League of Nations. 1940 as well, California opened its first freeway, the Arroyo Seco Parkway.
Oh, yeah, that is the Pasadena.
Oh, okay.
Arroyo Seco, that's that canyon that runs through there.
Ah, and actually, here's that song, I'll Never Smile Again. So, see, image service this here. Smile. Okay. It's not depressing. That's a peaceful sounding song.
It's kind of a love melody.
Yeah.
For the time.
I'm going to throw this into the music channel. So let's see here. But where's it? There it is. Okay, throw that there. There's the freeway picture right there, by the way. So, and there's that picture I had. They have various other examples. I mean, man, look how small that is.
Yeah, when you go up into that and you get on an on-ramp, and you know what we're used to and on most of our freeway, they're really short. Boom, and you're on. It's really dated. And I haven't been up there in so many years, they've probably gone back and redone a lot of it, I hope.
I'm trying to, there's this old Disney cartoon. Is it Freeway Phobia? Goofy's Freeway Troubles. I think it was the Freeway Phobia. I'm not sure, but there's this one scene in it where he's trying to. Oh, is this it right here? Yeah, he's trying to get on.
Let's go back a moment and see what he should have done.
Yeah, they're just Driving in California is not for the faint of heart. What else we got here? 1941, Mom's Time.
Yeah.
The Guinea Pig Club formed, made of severely injured airmen treated by Archibald McIndoe at Queen Victoria Hospital in East Grinstead, England. 41 as well, MLB New York Yankees defeated the Detroit Tigers 12-6 in 17 innings. That's almost 3 7-inning stretches right there. 41 as well, Soviet leader Joseph Stalin consolidated the Commissariats of Home Affairs and National Security to form the NKVD, the predecessor to not the Gestapo, but what was the Soviet Secret Service?
SS?
No, that's German. Gestapo's German,
I don't know.
Good
question.
The Soviets, they had a notorious name. Soviet Secret Service. We're both going to go, of course. It's not telling me here. KGB. The
there
KGB.
You go, yeah.
Predecessor to the KGB.
Yeah.
And named Lavrenti Beria as its chief. Beria, he was a piece of shit. Oh, man. We got to watch the movie Death of Stalin. Kyle, have you seen that movie yet, Death of Stalin? If you're even there. I'm not sure if he's even there. He's muted, so he's probably AFK. Have you seen the movie Death of Stalin yet?
Death of Stalin?
Yeah, Joseph Stalin. The movie Death of Stalin.
No, I have not, no.
We got to sit down one day and watch it all together, so...
Oh, there we go.
Yeah. 42, first detachment of Women's Army Auxiliary Corps began basic training. Cool. 42 as well, Barbados dismissed Trinidad for 16 and 69 minutes. Derek Seeley taking 8 for 8. West Indian cricket domestic first-class record. I want to go back again to the Women's Army Auxiliary Corps.
Yeah.
It's just like, you don't want to piss off your wife if they're from that. 42, the Legion of Merit medal was authorized by U.S. Congress. We also have Time Magazine featured Russian composer Dmitry Shostakovich on its cover. You know that guy.
Oh, yeah.
The one man that Stalin couldn't kill.
Yeah.
42, transfer number 8 departed Angers, France, with 827 French Jews sent to Auschwitz concentration camp. 19 survive until the war's end. 43, Jacques Lisserin was arrested by the Gestapo after being betrayed by a fellow member of the French resistance. What a bastard. U.S. Joint Chiefs of Staff questioned Admiral Chester Nimitz over the landing of Gilbert Island. I wonder why they're questioning him there. 44, Adolf Hitler unfortunately survived an assassination attempt led by German army officer Klaus von Stauffenberg, suffering only minor injuries after explosives hidden in a briefcase detonated. Oh yeah, the briefcase bomb. Somebody moved it to the other side of the table, and the table protected him. Yeah. But there was a good 5, 6 some odd attempts on his life.
A bunch did die in there. 4 or 5 of them.
Well, no, I'm talking about there's several different assassination attempts. Yeah,
this is the famous one right here.
Yeah, the most famous. Yeah. 44. British and Canadian troops occupied Hill 67/IFS/Bras/Fernandville, Normandy. That's a lot of slashes. Pick a name, somebody, please. 44. Brown's Nelson Potter was the first pitcher suspended for throwing spitballs. Ooh. 44 as well. Death march of 1,200 Jews from Lipikani, Moldavia began. 44. 50 were hurt in rioting in front of the presidential palace in Mexico City. So that's good that nobody was killed. 44. Heavy storm hampered British offensive at Caen. We've spoken about Caen. That's the largest city in Normandy and everything. And remember, the whole storm thing with the invasion and everything. So they're still suffering on the land. Just because they have a beachhead doesn't mean magically the weather doesn't, happen.
True.
So, 44, Japanese aircraft carrier Hiju was sunk by U.S. air attack. Excellent. 44, U.S. invaded Japanese-occupied Guam. U.S. President FDR nominated for an unprecedented 4th term at Democratic Convention.
After him, they put in a 2-term limit.
Yes. Now I just want to show. Okay. 1944.
Yeah.
Okay. Scroll. Still 1944.
Wow.
2 pages of 1944.
Whoa.
Yeah. Now, finally, in the Loon's time, 1947, so it's 1 year after that, we have the first political action of Netherlands army on Java and Sumatra. I wonder what they're doing over there. 48. Syngman Rhee was elected the first president of South Korea. Cool. We also have U.S. Communist Party Chairman William Forster was arrested. Not going to cry over that. 49. And this is what pisses me off. Israel's 19-month war of independence in. Independence, my ass, from what? They weren't, they're conquering. Independence from what? They weren't an independent nation. They just appeared, Yeah. Why the hell is it called a war of independence?
Because they were probably, by 49, they were being attacked by other countries because they didn't think they should be in there.
But that's not a war of independence. They're not trying to become independent from me. They're already there. Now it's a war of existence. This almost makes it sound like, trying to spiritually tie it in with the spirit of the United States. Oh, we're fighting the oppressor. They are the oppressor.
Well, you're right in the fact the term a war of independence should mean you're fighting for your independence.
Yeah, they didn't exist before
They're probably fighting to keep their independence. So it's a stretch. I agree with you.
No, if anybody's fighting to keep their independence, it's Palestine because they're the one being eaten. You know?
No, they were attacking Israel initially when they were
They got
ran
invaded.
the land.
Yeah, when they got invaded and colonized. As from the other source, it says the Israel-Syria Mixed Armistice Commission brokered the last of 4 ceasefire agreements to end the 1948 Arab-Israeli War. This is such
There you go.
Yeah, but like this is such a wrong way to say this statement here. They were not fighting for independence. They weren't.
Defending their independence.
No,
Yes.
Palestine was defending their independence. Israel was conquering them.
No.
Yes, Palestine existed first.
Yes, but Israel had already been formed in 48, so the
Yeah.
state of Israel existed,
Yeah, through
and the Arabs came in and started attacking them to get them out of there.
because that was their land.
And they're fighting them to keep.
And
One's fighting them to take the land back. One of them's fighting them to keep it.
And to this day, they're still fighting, and people are, for some reason, on the side of the oppressors. It blows my mind. Anyway, 1950, Cold War in Philadelphia, Harry Gold pled guilty to spying for the Soviet Union by passing secrets from atomic scientist Klaus Fuchs. That was that British guy. Yeah, so you just basically got a slap on the wrist.
Yeah.
Ended up continuing his scientific career in Germany. What the hell?
Yeah.
He was like one of the biggest crimes in all history. And he doesn't even get executed? Are you fucking kidding me? 1950 as well, after a month-long campaign, the majority of North Korea's air force was destroyed by anti-communist forces. 1 year later, King Abdullah I of Jordan was assassinated by a Palestinian while attending Friday prayers in Jerusalem. 53, the United Nations Economic and Social Council voted to make UNICEF a permanent agency. You know, I agree with. UNICEF, for the most part, I mean, like, on the surface it sounds good, but, you know...
Just what I was going to say. What little I know of it, I've always had great respect for UNICEF, but I really don't know that much about it.
Well, at the end of the day, it's a United Nations thing, and that's, you know, that's global agenda, so... 53, the USSR/Israel recovered diplomatic relations. 54, Canadian tennis champion Maureen Connolly's right leg was crushed in a horse riding accident, ending a brilliant career at just the age of 19. That is very, very unfortunate. I am so sorry for you, Miss Connolly. 54, West German Secret Service head Otto Jahn defected to East Germany, the DDR. 54, confirmation of the first detection of the neutrino by Clyde Cowan, Frederick Reeves, F.P. Harrison, H.W. Cruz, and A.D. McGuire, published in Science, the Cowan-Reeves neutrino experiment. Epic. 56, France recognized Tunisian independence. Cool. We also have Great Britain refused to lend Egypt money to build a second Aswan Dam. We talked about that yesterday.
Yes, we did.
But maybe it was somebody else refusing. Maybe I think it was us. Because it wasn't Great Britain refusing, but this time it is. So maybe they asked somebody else a day later.
I can't remember who they... Yeah.
56, Yankee pitcher Whitey Ford tied American League record of 6 straight strikeouts. Awesome.
Great one.
Yeah. You want to get your fan, by the way? It's getting a little warm in here.
Yeah, let's just continue.
1958, King Hussein of Jordan broke off diplomatic relations with UAR. Was that the United Arab Republic or something? What's the UAR? Let's look at this.
I think you're right.
58, Jordan crisis. Arab Cold War. Just going to look at this. Yada yada, overthrow monarchy. United Arab Republic. Oh, I was right. Okay. What else do we got here? 1960, the first successful underwater launch of a Polaris missile. So we have the Polaris missile was successfully launched from a submarine, the USS George Washington, for the first time.
Yeah.
So, like, you know, just the concept of launching a missile from underwater.
Yeah.
Like, we haven't gotten to that one yet, but there it is, a colored image.
Yeah.
Right there. I mean, that's crazy, you know? Because the actual mechanics of it, it doesn't, like, take off from the thing. Like there's, apparently they do some kind of pressure differential. They let the water, like, come in.
I'm sure
And,
they
like,
do.
so, like, I can't do this with 2 hands, but, like, imagine me, like, doing this on both sides here. So, like, the missile's here, and the water just kind of goes, pushes it up. And then when it breaches the surface, it kind of does this, and then it ignites and goes. So, yeah, they use the water pressure to go boom, like.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah, like imagine
Yeah, I
like
gotcha.
like an inner tube, putting it underwater,
Yeah.
and then letting it go, and it goes boom.
Yeah.
Well, then throw a rocket on it. Now you have a Polaris missile. You know. 1960, the head of the physics department at the Israel Institute of Technology, Kurt Sitti, was arrested for espionage. 1961, Leslie Bierkus and Anthony Neely's musical Stalk the World, I Want to Get Off. Yeah, me too. Premiered at Queen's Theatre in London's West End. 62, Dmitri Shostakovich completed his 13th symphony. This guy is just doing massive amounts of work. We also have France and Indonesia recovered diplomatic relations. Awesome. First use of hovercraft for commercial passenger ferry service between Rhyl and Wallasey in Wales.
Oh,
so there it is right there. So
okay.
now it's saying commercial passenger ferry. So there you go. We were talking about the word commercial the other day. Everything this at least specifies for passengers. So now we have a hovercraft, and it right here.
Yeah.
Where was it? The world's first. There was a here. That's an advertisement for it. The hover coach. The hover coach. Not even craft. Like take your place in the world's first hover coach. 6 daily services. So cool. That's awesome. 63, 16 or 17 African states and Madagascar signed peace treaty with EC. That the European Community. Like, do a service level scratch of this article here. Yaoundé Convention. 63 is 69. Might be the same thing. European Economic Community, EEC. So maybe that is. I'm not sure. 64, first surfing record to go #1, Jan and Dean, Surf City.
Yeah.
Is this one right here?
Yeah.
If it'll play.
2 girls for every boy.
That sounds like polygamy. 2 girls for everyone?
Yeah.
That sounds incredibly misogynist to me. But yeah.
Thanks to the Beach Boys, but yeah, they really. That and who was the guy that did Wipeout? I can't think of his name.
Wipeouts. Yeah, I know. The Ventures? The Safaris? Dion the Kingsman? Wipeouts. Original. The Safaris?
Maybe. I'm thinking of,
The Ventures?
no, I know all those. I'm trying to think of somebody else. Anyways, doesn't matter.
I'm just getting Safaris and
Yeah.
Venturas.
Yeah.
How the Safaris wrote Wipeout. So it's the Safaris,
Okay.
apparently. Unless there's some kind of like MK Ultra.
I have someone
thing.
else in my head, and I can't think of who, but that's okay. And I'm sure that's accurate.
1964 as well, Dmitri Shostakovich completed his 10th string quartet. Man. 64, during the Vietnam War, Viet Cong forces attacked the capital of Dien Thuong province, Cai Bay, killing 11 South Vietnamese military personnel and 40 civilians, 30 of whom were children. Wow. 65, we had 18.18 inches or 46.18 centimeters of rainfall in Edgerton, Missouri, state 24-hour record. Columbia Records released Bob Dylan's single "Like a Rolling Stone."
Yeah.
We played that on the show a while ago.
Yeah.
Like a Rolling Stone. 65, New York Yankee pitcher Mel Stottlemyre hit an inside-the-park grand slam at Yankee Stadium in a 6-3 win over the Boston Red Sox. Now I'm hungry. I want grand slam breakfast from Denny's. 67, Chilean poet and diplomat Pablo Neruda received first Vegarario Vecchia Prize, recognizing world personalities who work for culture and understanding between peoples. It's a cool thing to be recognized for. 1968, we had the first Special Olympics for children and adults with intellectual disabilities. Was held in Chicago, Illinois, with about 1,000 athletes, with different problems. First International Special Olympics Summer Games were held at Soldier Field in Chicago. That's cool. There's the logo for it right there. Like the difference between the normal Olympics and the Special Olympics, don't want to say the normal, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Is that they still let amateurs in the Special Olympics. The Olympics originally were just a bunch of random Joe Schmoes just signing up and competing. Now you have these like multi-billion-dollar athletes.
Yeah.
Hell, like NASCAR, it used to be the North American Stock Car Association or whatever it is.
Yeah.
That's supposed to be stock cars. That's supposed to be representative of the very basic of basics of what you're rolling off the lot with. Not these multi-million souped-up supercars. Nobody can have those.
No.
The whole point of it is to showcase, to sell cars, not to showcase what you can do to them. What are you going to say?
I forgot now.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I do this all the time.
Wasn't important.
Oh, it is to me. 1968, Iron Butterflies Inagata da Vida became the first heavy metal song in hit charts. It came in at number 117.
Inagata da
Vida, baby. It's a good song.
Yeah, great song.
We played that a couple of times on the show. We also have Jane Asher broke her engagement with Beatle bassist, singer, and songwriter Paul McCartney live on BBC TV's D-Time program. What a bitch.
Why would you do it on a program?
What a bitch. You know, he dodged a bullet. If that's the way she's going to be, fuck her.
Let's hope it
You
was
know?
a natural break right there rather than planned. I hope.
Judy Garland headlines concert, also feeling Count Basie and Jackie Wilson at JFK Stadium, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, her last U.S. concert. The big one here, 1969. NASA's Apollo 11 lunar module carrying Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin landed on the surface of the moon. 7 hours later, Armstrong became the first person to step on the moon at 10:56 p.m. Eastern, or I guess EDT, whatever the heck that is. And Aldrin joined him shortly after. Michael Collins remained in orbit in the command module. So that is...
Here's what blew my mind on this whole thing. Obviously, landing on the moon is huge.
Yes.
But what impressed me, I'm watching the damn thing on TV, going, "Oh my God, I'm watching them land on the moon." What the hell?
Now I'm gonna say this because there's always
know.
no. I'm not saying that we didn't. Okay, I'm saying that there's a million and one theories about this, as with there's
Right.
everything else. Okay, believe what you want. I'm a subscriber to everything I can sink my teeth into, but I don't believe anything because reality is what you make it. So you only know what you can experience. Everything else is hearsay. So to me, the most likely case scenario is I don't believe that we landed on the moon, but maybe we did. And with all the evidence that people use to be like, oh, blah, blah, like, look at the weird shadows. Oh, look at, the little X on the corner of the photograph. It's behind the thing instead of in front. Whatever. If we did land on the moon, probably, like, all the original tape was erased by the solar radiation, so they had to refilm it, so it probably is fakes, but we did land. But we had to have something to show for it.
Well, I saw it in real time, not on a tape.
Well, yes, but the tapes have been since wiped out.
Yeah. Yes, I have no idea.
I mean, there's a whole lot of stuff involving all that. I'm sure Kaio is over there listening and he wants to say a thing or two about this.
So, there's a place in, excuse my voice, in Canada where there's a NASA facility up there that what they recorded some of the moon, supposedly moon footage, looked exactly like the moon lunar surface, looked really identical where the NASA facility is at. When they tested their like moon vehicles and stuff, like very identical.
Yeah.
That is
makes
intriguing.
sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. And once again, anybody watching this, don't take us, don't take our word for it. Don't think that we're saying this or that or whatever. Just, if anything, use us as a springboard on your own path of self-education. That's all we are. Anyway, moving on up to 1969 as well, a ceasefire was announced between Honduras and El Salvador 6 days after the beginning of the football war. We spoke about that a while ago. 1970, Lucy the Elephant, originally called Elephant Bazaar, a 6-story building shaped like an elephant, was built by a real estate speculator and later relocated 2 blocks south near the beach in Margaret, New Jersey, where it was refurbished as a roadside tourist attraction. Well, yeah, there's the moon there, and there's that elephant. Oh. So it's a building. It's 6 stories. You can go up there.
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah. And
See the window.
yeah. Oh, whoops! I didn't mean to do that one. So, there we go. Yeah, no, I want image, not AI. This is cool though. There's an artist rendition of it. But yeah, that's a. Yeah, it looks like it's seen better days with this.
Yeah,
But
for
it was
sure.
refurbished.
Yeah.
It said so. I'd like to go visit that someday. It's cool. 1973, MLB Chicago White Sox pitcher Wilbur Wood started and lost both games of a doubleheader against the New York Yankees, 12-2 and 7-0. Wow, that sucks.
Yeah.
73, the U.S. Senate passed the War Powers Act. What is the War Powers Act? Let's look this up here really quick. Whoops. War Powers Resolution 73. Okay, so let's see. A federal law intended to check the U.S. President's power to commit the United States to an armed conflict without the consent of the U.S. Congress. The resolution was adopted in the form of a United States Congressional Joint Resolution. It provides that the President can send the U.S. Armed Forces into action abroad only by Congress's statutory authorization or in case of a national emergency created by attack upon the United States, its territories or possessions, or its armed forces. So, unless we get hit first, he has no power to swing first, it sounds like. War Powers Act. Like, is that a correct interpretation
I think so.
or something? Or interesting. What else do we got here? In 1974, Huang and Hangzhou completed a 1,000-mile pilgrimage from San Francisco to Seattle. Cool. Turkey invaded Cyprus, establishing a Turkish Republic of Northern Cyprus. So the forces from Turkey invaded Cyprus after a coup d'etat organized by the dictator of Greece against President Makaros. Wow, so they got double-teamed. That sucks. 75, Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band kicked off the Born to Run tour at the Palace Theater in Providence, Rhode Island. Stephen Van Zandt debuted as a full-fledged member of the group. India, in 75 as well, expelled 3 correspondents for the Times, the Daily Telegraph, and Newsweek after they refused to sign a pledge to comply with government censorship. Good. Like, that they did. It's not good that they got expelled. It's good that they didn't sign it.
Yeah.
They stood up. Shame on you, India, for expelling them. So, 76, Hank Aaron hit his 755th and last home run off Angels pitcher Dick Drago. Dick Drago, really? Really? What a name! Wow! 76 as well, Vietnam War. The U.S. military completed its troop withdrawal from Thailand. Viking 1 landed on Mars at Chrysley Planitia, the first successful Martian landing. 77, flash flood hit Johnstown, Pennsylvania, killing 80 and causing $350 million in damage. Other source says 84 people killed. So, 80, 84.
Yeah.
So. The Central Intelligence Agency, the CIA, released documents under the Freedom of Information Act revealing it had engaged in mind control experiments. That sounds like Project MK Ultra. So, I'm sure Kaio wants to say a thing or two about this. MK Ultra.
I know they did a lot of weird stuff.
Actually, Loon, you have a story about that. Kaio, are you listening? Oh. I think he is. So, do you want to tell your story about your friend? I think he was a victim of MK Ultra, or your friend's brother. Sorry.
No, and it wasn't. It was done at a university.
Yeah.
And he voluntarily signed up. But they were doing some testing and everything, and it was determined later on, after we knew what the drug was, that they gave him LSD.
Yeah.
And he ended up driving his car through a house.
Yikes. I saw a video actually just the other day. Marilyn Manson. Marilyn Monroe? No, Charles Manson.
Charles Manson.
The different Manson. not Marilyn, but you went one way, I went another. Marilyn Manson, you went Marilyn Monroe, I went Charles Manson.
Are you guys talking about the MK Ultra?
Yeah. It's believed that Charles Manson was a victim of MK Ultra because he then used a lot of things that they used on our government on him, like sleep deprivation and various other things. He used those on his victims and then conducted the family murders and all that stuff. So the whole Charles Manson thing could actually be a byproduct, if not directly controlled by the government itself. Like,
Well,
ain't that freaking crazy?
Who he was mind controlling, if you want to call it that,
Yeah.
was, quote, his family.
Yes.
All these young girls and guys, for that matter, but mostly girls.
But where did he learn those tactics?
Well, yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah. Anyway, 1979, a 44-kilogram Newfoundland dog pulled 2,293-kilogram load in Bothell, Washington. Holy crap, is this Clifford? Like, how big was this dog? Like,
Oh, man.
Dude,
Dude, something to compare him with.
that thing could-
Oh, man, no,
that-
come on. That's...
no, this is not the same dog, but like that thing could eat the child as a snack, dude. Your kid's gonna die if you have that dog next to it. Like all it takes is just like one screw up and that kid's dead. 81. England set for innings lost versus Botham hit 187 balls. Okay. 82. Hyde Park and Regent Park bombings. 11 British soldiers and 7 military horses were killed in provisional Irish Republican Army bomb attacks during military ceremonies in London. So other source says the provisional IRA detonated 2 bombs in Hyde Park and Regent's Park in central London, killing 8 soldiers, wounding 47 people, and leading to the deaths of 7 horses. 85. Divers found the wreck of the Spanish galleon Etosha, and that's this ship right there. That's a haunting looking ship. Yeah. Like what's the phasmophobia or whatever it is. Like it's becoming big online. Like these haunting looking shipwrecks under the ocean. Like no, thank you. 85. The government of Aruba. Passed legislation to secede from the Netherlands Antilles. Ayo's time! Can I get through my life in negative 5 minutes?
In other words, you're already late.
Yes. 87. New York Yankees Don Mattingly tied first base fielding record with 22 putouts in a single game.
Whoa!
That sounds awesome.
That's amazing.
Yeah. 1989, 93 degrees Fahrenheit, highest overnight low ever recorded in Phoenix, Arizona, until heat wave of 2023. 93 was the low. What's the fucking low?
Yeah, that's Phoenix for you.
Phoenix.
Where you go when you're bad.
Yeah, well, hold on a second. KOTH Phoenix. This is my go-to whenever we talk about Phoenix. I have to play this one.
111 degrees? Phoenix can't really be that hot, can it? Oh my god, it's like standing on the sun! This city should not exist. It is a monument to man's arrogance.
That's the one thing I'll agree with Peggy Hill on.
Did I ever tell you, because I lived in northern Arizona, right?
Why?
Well, it's not Phoenix, nothing like that. But I went down to Phoenix to a car dealership there to get my car worked on. So, hot as hell. Go into the little thing they have there to,
The work little
workstation.
The repair station. The repair
So they'll
shop.
take your number, come on, take a look at your car. And it was crowded. So I'm sitting in there, and every time that door would open,
Furnace.
it was like someone had a blowtorch on my ass. God, shit.
So it was like the Las Vegas effect,
Yeah.
but reverse. Like going from the heat into the casino, it's like opening a fridge.
Oh,
you know?
it's so hot there.
Yeah. It is a testament to man's arrogance. 1989, Burma government put author Aung San Suu Kyi under house arrest because he was an opposition leader, according to other source. Photographer Robert Mapplethorpe's show opened at Washington, D.C.'s Project for the Arts after the Smithsonian Institution Korakuen Gallery canceled it. 1990, Justice William J. Burning Jr. resigned from the Supreme Court after 36 years. It's quite a long time for a career.
I don't remember him.
91, Mike Tyson was accused of struggle snuggling a Miss Black America contestant. We covered that yesterday. 92, round world air race began in Paris. Sounds pretty cool. Round world air race. Air race. Well, I guess it's just I guess this was an air race to be around the world. That's a cool one, though. 92, Václav Havel resigned as president of Czechoslovakia after Slovakia declared independence. 93, fire in the press box at Atlanta Fulton County Stadium. That's not good.
No.
I hope everybody got out all right. 94, Alexander Lukashenko was inaugurated as the first president of Belarus. And I was about to clap, but apparently he became a dictator. So that's not good.
Yeah, Belarus,
Yep. 94, former NFL running back, broadcaster, and actor O.J. Simpson offered $500,000 reward for evidence of ex-wife's killer. Well,
O.J. Simpson.
you know, like, if he wanted a mirror that bad, I'd just give him one.
Yeah.
And
So if you proved him guilty, would he still pay you the $500?
I don't think so.
Probably not.
Major parts of Comet Schumacher-Levy hit Jupiter from July 16th through the 22nd, so we've been talking about this since the 16th.
You know what? Let me just back up for the OJ thing. Just to talk about
If the glove don't fit, you must have quit.
It was amazing. Whites, that's obviously he's guilty.
Yeah. Oh, it was so polarizing.
Blacks said absolutely not. That's a system. just sticking it to them.
But see,
Polar views on the same thing, same information.
Here's the problem. Whites weren't saying he was guilty because he was black. Whites were saying
he's guilty. Period.
he's guilty. Blacks were saying he's not guilty because he's black. That's the difference. Their prejudice.
The system was railroading him.
I mean, I'm not saying that there's not, like even to this day, things in the system that favors one thing over another. I mean, hell, look around. There's things that favor illegals over everybody, out here. But I digress. To sit there and validate your hatred with your presumption of what hatred is thrust upon you.
No, you're wrong.
What do you mean I'm wrong?
You're wrong. It's not the reason they were. It's because they've been involved in the system, and many of them, or they know of stories of people that have been railroaded that they never should have.
So that validates them to allow.
That gives them a different perception.
Somebody's dead. I don't give a shit about their perspective.
Yeah.
Somebody's dead.
And
they can
didn't
shove their
think-
perspective up their ass.
They didn't think
You know?
he did it.
Just because of the color of his skin. That's ridiculous. That's prejudice. So. 94, Supreme Leader of North Korea Kim Il-sung was placed in a public mausoleum at the Kumasun Palace of the Sun. Alright. 95, the Regents of the University of California voted to end all affirmative action in the UC system by 97. Affirmative action was brought back under DEI, didn't earn it. Diversity, equity, inclusion, which means get rid of white people. 77, 32.52 inches or 82.6 centimeters of rainfall, Dauphin Island, Alabama, which started back on the 19th. This is a new state record, so I guess a 24-hour period. 97, the fully restored USS Constitution, also known as Old Ironside, celebrated its 200th birthday by setting sail for the first time in 116 years.
Wow.
First time in over a century. There's the good old Ironside right there. There she is.
So they refurbished the
Yeah,
whole thing.
and it looks like they have some faux cannon shooting off, just to add some drama, theater, So, oh, look at that! Isn't that a beautiful sight?
It is.
God bless the United States of America.
It's the 13 colonies flag, too.
Oh yeah, you're right. Good old stars and stripes. So. What else do we got here? 98, 200 aid workers from CARE International, Medicines Sans Frontières, Doctors Without Borders, and other aid groups left Afghanistan on orders of the Taliban. 99, Falun Gong was banned in the People's Republic of China, and a large-scale crackdown of the practice is launched, arresting thousands nationwide, and they're still oppressing those people. The Falun Gong practitioners, the Uyghur Muslims, the Tibetans, anyone who's not a communist and not a Chinese, you're less than dirt in China, and they'll even eat themselves. They're evil.
And I don't have the percentages in front of me, but I'm going to say it's only between 10 and 20% of the population are communists.
Even less than that over here.
I think it's really 10%, but I'm edging.
Well, that's 10 to 20%. That's about the amount, of the Nazis back in the day. That's about the amount of the Democrats, the liberals these days. So yeah. 2000 in Zimbabwe, Parliament opened its new session and seats opposition leaders for the first time in a decade. That's awesome. We also have terrorist Carlos the Jackal sued France in the European Court of Human Rights for allegedly torturing him. Counter argument: you're a terrorist. Go fuck yourself. Stupid.
Carlos the Jackal.
Can you imagine being a terrorist and suing because you got tortured? Go fuck yourself, you puss.
It's like the guy that fell off your roof trying to break in,
I know, right? Which somehow, somehow that works.
Yeah.
So maybe I shouldn't be laughing. 2000, leaders of the Salt Lake City's bid to win the 2002 Winter Olympics were indicted by a federal grand jury for bribery, fraud, and racketeering. 2001, Spirited Away, written and directed by Hayao Miyazaki, was released in Japan. Later, it received the Academy Award Best Animated Feature in 2003. Kaio, have you seen Spirited Away yet? I think that's the one with the dragon, I think, right?
Dude, I love that film.
It's a good movie.
Freaking Ghibli films? I love Ghibli films.
Hell yes. Totoro is a Ghibli film, right?
Yep.
Yeah. One of my favorite movies. 2001, the 27th annual G8 Summit opened in Genoa, Italy. An Italian protester in Genoa, Carlo Guarani, was shot by police.
Ooh.
Hey. We also have the London Stock Exchange went public. That took a while. 2001? Or better late than never, I guess. 2002, bartenders doing tricks with fire started a major fire in a nightclub in Lima, Peru. That killed 25 and injured 100. Here's an idea. How about stop with the theatrics and just pour me my damn drink? If I wanted a show, I'll go to the freaking, like, Dance with Cups extravaganza. I came to a bar to drink, not to watch. 2005, Canada became the fourth country in the world to legalize homosexual marriage after the Bill C-38 received its royal assent. 2006, during an appearance of on the Tonight Show, Colin Farrell was confronted by telephone sex worker Desiree Bradford, who had been stalking the actor. That is creepy. 2012, 12 people were killed and 59 injured after a gunman opened fire at a Dark Knight movie premiere in Aurora, Colorado. And other source says killing 12 and injuring 70 others. So between 59 to 70 injuries. This was the frickin' clown guy. This dude, yeah, the frickin' Joker dude. Like, look at that psychopath. Look at that face. He needs to be institutionalized. Kyle, you remember this guy, right?
Give me 1 second. Oh shit.
The Colorado Theater.
That guy, the Dark Knight, yeah.
Yeah.
With
Yep.
Yeah, I do. You're
It happened on this date. So. 2012 as well, during the Syrian Civil War, the People's Protection Units, YPG, captured the cities of Amuda and Efrin without resistance. 1 year after that, some more Syrian Civil War, the Battle of Ras Al Ain ended with the expulsion of Islamist forces from the city of the People's Protection Units, YPG. 2014, Patrick Sawyer arrived in the city of Lagos in Nigeria and collapsed. He died of Ebola 5 days later. Yee. The Israeli Defense Force entered Shoya, a populous neighborhood of Gaza City, as part of their ground offensive focused on destroying tunnels crossing the Israel border, or so they say. 2015, hacker group Impact Team announced they have hacked the married dating site Ashley Madison. No idea what the heck that is.
No idea what that is.
Some kind of hacker or something. So.
Yeah.
2015, the United States and Cuba resumed full diplomatic relations after 5 decades, which is 50 years. That's half a century. 2017, China announced a plan against foreign garbage, banning the import of 24 categories of plastic and recyclable waste from 2018. 2017, Elon Musk, good old Mr. Chip Your Brain, tweets he has, quote, verbal government approval, end quote, to build a 29-minute Hyperloop between New York and Washington, D.C. Yeah, sure you do, bud. We also have the last fighting occurred in Iraq city of Mosul as the city was liberated from ISIS militants. O.J. Simpson was granted parole to be released from prison after serving 9 years of a 33-year sentence after being convicted of armed robbery in Las Vegas. What the hell is he doing armed robberying, dude? You have money. Like,
what he did is this guy had O.J. Simpson memorabilia that was his at one time.
okay.
So he had it up in his room, and he's selling this stuff. So he broke into the guy's room, armed, and took it back.
That's stupid.
So it's armed robbery.
That's stupid.
Yeah, it's stupid. The guy, you never give him a lot of smarts. Great football player, one of the greatest backs of all time, but not a lot of smarts in real life.
Somehow he got away with murder. So.
Well, he did.
Probably because see, I don't want. It's not like I want to go back to the subject, but thinking about like the whole thing about like, blacks being oppressed and all that stuff. Maybe he was not convicted because of all the white guilt and everything, so they let a murderer walk because of the color of his skin. Because that makes me sick. 2018, Australian businessman James Packer announced he had quit 22 directorships due to mental health issues. Yikes. 2019, 115 degrees Fahrenheit or 46.1 Celsius, John Martin Dam, Colorado state record. Soyuz MS-13 was launched to the International Space Station on the 50th anniversary of the Apollo 11 moon landing. Ain't that a kick in the head? 50 years later, now we're going to the ISS piggybacking off of the Ruskies. How far we've fallen. 2020, announcement that a Kung Flu vaccine developed by the University of Oxford, Chadoxil, in COVID-19 is able to trigger immune response and antibodies, so they say. Cristiano Ronaldo became the first man to score 50 goals in Serie A, La Liga, and the Premier League with a double in Juventus' 2-1 win over Lazio. Scientists found evidence of volcanoes on Venus, showing the planet is not dormant as previously thought. Published in Nature Geoscience, apparently. The United Kingdom suspended extradition treaty with Hong Kong in wake of new Chinese security laws for the territory. 2021, Amazon founder Jeff Bezos announced his first 2 Courage and Civility Awards of $100 million each to writer, commentator, and nonprofit founder Van Johns, and chef and World Central Kitchen founder Jose Andres to distribute to charities of their choice. It's all PR crap. We also have Bezos went into space in the first unpiloted suborbital flight with an all-civilian crew aboard rocket developed by his company, Blue Origin. Is this the one where he took William Shatner up with him?
I think so.
Oh. Let's see. I don't see Shatner. No, Shatner's not in there. I mean, I know that Shatner did go up eventually.
Yeah,
but
maybe it wasn't this
Yeah.
one. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know how. I only thought he went up once.
He did, but I don't think this is the time.
No, I thought Bezos only went up once.
Oh, apparently not.
Apparently, yeah.
Now, this is the actual photo. This is the most. I can't read that. And something concept for space use. Man, you got to work out your writing there, bud. But like somebody edited that. Shatner in space. Suck it, Picard. Let's see if I can find it. Somebody edited it. Suck it, Picard. Because out of these two, Shatner's actually has been in space.
Yeah.
So, what else we got here? 2021, India's Kung Flu death toll likely 10 times its official toll, 3.4 million to 4.7 million to June of 2021, according to the Center for Global Development. Fearmonger, fearmonger, fearmonger. 2021 as well, New York recorded the worst air quality in the world due to smoke from 80 wildfires on the U.S. West Coast. Yeah, well, I remember that going all the way across the country.
Now they got them coming down from Canada.
Yeah. There's that other time, because I left this note here, talk about how all the fires started simultaneously. That's from a different time up in Canada.
Yeah.
Remember, there's all those dozens of fires?
Yeah.
And they all started at the same
3 or
time.
4 years ago.
Yeah. You know, that's fishy. We also had Oregon's bootleg fire had burnt nearly 400,000 acres, now so big it's generating its own weather patterns, according to local fire chiefs. Yeah, that's when it gets really bad. U.S. NATO members and other states accused Chinese military of state security for using contract criminal hackers to infiltrate Microsoft email systems. Well, it's China. What do you expect? 2022, an intense heat wave across Europe resulted in over 1,000 deaths in Portugal and 500 additional in Spain, while starting wildfires across Spain, France, Italy, and Greece. Geranium, a meat-free restaurant in Copenhagen, was named world's best restaurant in a ceremony in London. That's anti-nature propaganda. You know, you don't want to eat meat, that's fine. You know, but if you want to sit there and say that you're not eating meat because you love nature, then you are full of shit. Because if you really love nature, you will look at the teeth. We are designed to eat meat and plants. We are omnivores. If you're going to sit there and not abide by what nature built you to be while saying you're a champion of it, go fuck yourself. You hypocritical motherfucker. Seriously. Obey nature. It's not that difficult. Eat a steak. You know? 2023, India banned export of non-basmati rice, raising prospect of global price rises. More than half of rice imports for 42 countries come from India. Holy crap. That's a heck of an export. Good job, India. Video of serious mob assault on 2 women in Indian state of Manipur had, quote, shame India, end quote, claimed Prime Minister Narendra Modi, part of violence between Meitei and Kuki communities, which have killed 130 people. Yikes. 2023, Women's Football World Cup opened in Auckland, New Zealand, with New Zealand winning their first ever cup match 1-0 against Norway. Nice. 2 years ago, Donald Trump accepted Republican nomination for president at the Republican National Convention in Milwaukee with a 90-minute speech, longest accepted speech in history. He is a windbag, you know. Oh.
With a patch on his ear.
Yeah. Yeah, at the time. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
They should have a picture of that up there.
Yeah. 2024, Israel strikes inside Yemen for the first time, hitting the port of Hodeidah, killing 6 people in retaliation for a Houthi drone attack on Tel Aviv that killed 1. And last but not least, Sultan Ibrahim Al officially crowned King of Malaysia for 5 years under the country's rotating monarchy at Istana Negara, Kuala Lumpur. And that shall conclude the show. Once again, please check the underbar description for any links that you may find interesting, including but not limited to all things Omni Coalition. A lot of history has and continues to be made on a daily basis. We can only bring you a portion from our two sources. We have gone through our 39-page document in an hour and almost a half.
Wow.
Like we're at 6:24 now. So it took us a while, but there was a lot of stuff that went today.
Yeah.
You know, huge
cool
day.
show.
So yeah. Anyway, what's the code word today? Let's moon landing. Put moon landing
There you go.
in the comment. Let us know you're still watching up until this point. For your dose of past events daily, we stream at 5 p.m. Pacific Time, 6 Mountain, 7 Central, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, respectively. For all of you and all of us, I'm Alexander.
Golden Loon.
Caillou by Boosh.
Woohoo!
And UVRU, and until you catch us next time, whenever that is, wherever that is, don't forget to look right and left at every intersection, rate 5 thumbs, and subscribe. Toodles!
Oh, man.